Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about an interesting problem which typically comes when you are having a project and you're using different vibe coding tools across your team, or it can be you who is somebody like me who tries each and every vibe coding tool. But as it goes in each repo, you have a set of protocols, coding standards, and whatnot. So that makes it tricky. So this is my blog, which I will share, but this is how typically a project keeps the vibe coding context for any vibe coding tool. So you typically keep a list of MCP servers you want to connect, what environment that code is about to run, coding standard, documentation, feature, test case, and a lot of guidelines. So I don't know how this looks like in your repo, but I typically keep it like this. Like these are my vibe coding guides folder, and these are all different markdown files for each and every type of things which I want my vibe coding tool to take care. Like especially this is very important. Common pitfalls, like what common mistakes typically LLM do, and we want them to avoid or typical human mistakes also, not just LLMs. Another goes by the name. And then comes the bigger challenge, like there is a problem with different vibe coding tools. Like it is not like HTTP that everybody will agree to a same rule protocol. Every tool is creating rules of this format. They typically use MD files only, but they put it randomly in different directory. And I mean, calling random is not good from an end user perspective. It's a random thing. So let me show you a bit. Like if I go to this project and we see here, this agent is having this file here, and this agent is created by anti-gravity. Cloud has its own folder, Cline has its own folder, Cursor has its own folder, and some tools like Cloud Code, they do keep like files like this, and they allow different kind of nesting. You can create multiple of these files. Same goes for Codex. It expects agents.md, but once I have got a hold of that thing, I have actually asked that tool to use cloud.md as a file name. So now I don't create two files. But this is how the problem is. And same goes for Agentforce, in case you are an Agentforce fan. So if like I open Agentforce Vibes and let's close it. So if you go here. So this is how this thing comes. And same goes for its parent of Agentforce Vibes. They have a similar interface. Now what happens is if we go into a Salesforce project, so A4D rules is Agentforce for developer rules, and it creates the rule files here. Cline creates similar rule files here like this. So there is a lot of segregation, and the bigger challenge here is in a project like I have shown here. We do not have typically a one single file. This for me typically in all my projects is a master vibe coding file, which actually sets up a basic context, and then depending on what it is doing, it lets the LLM load the required file. I know some LLMs they have a regex matching or file name pattern matching or file folder matching, or even a normal like Windsurf allows you to write a description on top of file and it auto loads that rule file based on what prompt is doing. But then you lose the portability if you, let's say, looking to try the same project on a different vibe coding tool. Then you have to organize these files, move these files here and there, and get them into a right format. So what I tried from my side is to keep this file as a main, and then let this file read all these files. So that is one part, and I hope I'm able to get the context. The next part is most interesting. What I did is I built a shell script, or you can say npm script, and that this npm script basically replicates this file into the right directories when you start coding on a new tool, so that you don't have to memorize and do the copy pasting. And you can even set it up as a protocol if you are using it across a team and every developer is trying to use a different AI tool. So before I show you or walk you through this script code, let me show it to you in action. What the script is, it's something like this. I will not read the code, but the fun part is in VS Code there is a task.json. So I've connected this script here, And this script is doing something like this. Like if I do run task, Command Shift P, sync vibe coding instructions. So now I will expand this thing. So now this will ask me what do I want to do. So whatever tools I want copy this file over, it will offer me a easy way of selection. I can press A to select all, A again to deselect all. Let's say I just want to create for Agentforce Vibes and continue, I can do that. Or let's say I just want to pick anti-gravity also, I can do that. And when I press enter on Mac and Linux based system, it will create a hard link. If you don't know hard link, it's just like soft link, but they share the same disk nodes. And what happens is when you change the vibe coding instructions file, it keeps that thing in sync. So to a good extent, the file will be in sync with the system. Whenever like anybody changes the file, hopefully that will replicate. But what another thing which I have done is, if you know, GitHub has post merge hooks. So what I'm doing is, this is my main rule set of vibe coding, what everybody should follow. So in case there is a change, like anybody improved this rule set file or did anything, and even you can watch other rule files also. But I think main file is this one. So if you just keep this one intact, rest will all be good. So then it gives this kind of alert that this file is changed, and you can just run the same script again. And you can run the same script any number of times because it is just copying over the same file via hard link. So there is nothing like it that you will create multiple versions of the same file by any chance. Now let's see what else I do have in blog. I have explained this part, that this is how the command palette is working. So yeah, this is the lifeline. This is how this thing works. In case you are an npm fan and terminal fan, you can directly execute this thing, or you can actually hook it up in package.json also. So like if I go for this thing, so I have a short terminal command which is like npm run sync vibes. You can do this also. It depends on your taste. How do you want to do? I like run task. It's easy to do and just enter and things are done. Then I think I showed you this part already. This is already done. GitHub is also done. Yeah, one most important thing is you might have to add this execution permission on Mac and Linux. And now the interesting part is, now if you take a repository owner role, you are engineering manager, you don't want to commit and pollute your repo by rules for each specific vibe coding tool, like this one here, this one here. It will pollute your repo, and in case you decide to move to some other tool, then it's tricky. Especially if you are even a solo contributor to a repo, you don't want to pollute your repo with a history of these kind of different folders. So in that case, what I have cracked is, and that is working well for me, is, let me go here. What I do is I commit this prompt folder only. Like, let me expand this part. This has all the files. This is the main file. This is environment context. So I keep this thing only in Git. This is neutral to any vibe coding tool. And then all the other vibe coding tools are synced by this command, like which I just showed you, this one, automatically. So I never commit into Git any rule set file which is very, very specific to a given vibe coding tool like Cursor, Windsurf, or whatever it is, Agentforce Vibes. But I missed an important point here is, definitely we are keeping the Git repo clean. We are not putting so many files here. Uh, if your team has decided, let's say they have decided they will only use Cursor, they have bought licenses for Cursor for everyone, or they will only use Windsurf for Agentforce Vibes, then I think you can skip this video and blog, because then it doesn't make sense to complicate your life via this thing. This is for the adventurous people who like to try different things, even as a team or as an individual. Because if let's say you lock on Windsurf, then it is easy. You can just lock in all the code which is there in the Windsurf folder here. Like, where did it go? Here. So you can just commit this file from here directly, and you can create multiple specific rules in the way Windsurf allows. Like if I open this file with Windsurf editor, like if I do open with and rule editor, so then you can use these all specific modes which come with Windsurf, and same is with Cursor and other tools also. That helps a lot. One other important thing which I missed telling you is this MD file which I have. Let me create some space. I always refer to the prompts folder via project root because this file can be a top level, tool level nested inside for some vibe coding tool. So that keeps the linkage proper. Otherwise, it's easy to break. So if you see here, here, everywhere, I have kept linkage via project roots, though I can easily say something like dot slash and avoid that. But I don't do that because dot slash will work if the rule, like if I say this example only, A4D rules, there is nothing like dot slash here. So that's why it is important to keep it like this, like as a project root, so that it stays clean. And let's see what else is left here to share. I think this I covered, project root I covered. Yeah, one other interesting thing is some tools share config files. So let me quickly show you ChatGPT Codex. So if you go here and open its settings, TOML file. So what I have done is I have shared that the project top file fallback file names are this one. So this banks on cloud. So now what happened is I'm at least simplifying this tool to use the same configuration which cloud has. So these both share the same file. And then if I am going to cursor, cursor has a setting also which asks you to keep cloud.md in context. So if your main cloud.md rule file is correctly added to the context, I think it can simplify a lot of things. And it also loads command from cloud commands along with the other thing. So if you are using cloud and cursor, maybe you want to focus more on cloud side of things and keep cursor loading up that thing. That again saves a lot of back and forth. And with this script also, you can just generate for cloud in that case. And probably last bit here is how to optimize, yeah, default selection and this thing. Okay, so the last bit here is, let me expand this section. So the script basically lists down all the tools. There is a constant of all the platforms. This selected is something which will tell the system that you have to by default keep it selected. If you don't use, let's say Windsurf, so you can keep it false. So whatever tools you want to keep it handy for your team or for yourself, you can just select them and it will just show it like this. Now, if you notice, I have these three selected as true: Windsurf, anti-gravity, and Cloud Code. And if I run tasks, so this comes selected. So this is how it is coming. This is reading it from here. I hope this helps. I know it's a little crazy video, not something you all might do, but I think we all should try all the vibe coding tools available to know the difference and what they're trying to do. And I hope this video and this tool simplifies your life when you're porting your same repo code across different things. The good thing is all these things, Windsurf, this VS Code and Cursor, they are based off VS Code project structure only. So you can easily import the same project folder to all the tools. That gives you more freedom to try without doing a lot of restructuring on your repo. Thank you for watching and drop your comments for feedback.